name is Amy, and this is Amy's Art Table. And today we're going to be working on this Galaxy Mountain View. We're going to use some watercolor paper, watercolor set, brush, water, a Sharpie, a pencil, and you'll need to find something round, something that will make a good circle for your paper. So things that might work well would be like a lid, a paper plate, a bowl. You can ask your adult that's around if they can find you something that's circular. And once you get it, we're going to grab some watercolor paper and get started. So we'll start out by grabbing our circular item. I'm using a cake pan, and we're just gonna try to place it evenly in the center of your paper and go ahead and make a circle with a pencil. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but just try to get it centered. And then we're going to work first with the Sharpie, and we're going to put the lines. We're going to do the outline of the mountains, and we're going to work on the shadow of the mountains. Okay? So we have to think about, we want to have our sky up here to about a half of this picture, so we have to leave room for that. So we'll start on the left side of the circle and draw some peaks. So I'm going to have mine going up a little bit higher and then coming back down. They don't have to be perfect. You can just make them however you feel would be good, and leave some space for your sky. Now the next step is we're going to make a squiggle line down each one, and then connect it over. Now that's going to be our shaded side of our mountain. So this is like if the mountain is in shadow. So make another squiggle line and connect it. So each one, this one is connected to the side of the circle. This one is connected to this line. And I'm just going to do that for each of the mountains. Nice little squiggles. Connect it. This one's going to be a little thinner. So this would be if you just had moonlight shining on this side of the mountain. And now we're going to add some little lines with our Sharpie. Okay, just go back and forth. However you want to do it. You can do it all the way across. You can do them little broken lines. So if this part is in light, in moonlight, then this part is in shadow. So that's what we're trying to show, that these mountains are steep and they have a shadow side to them. All right. So just going to do this on each shadow that we just created. Okay. So it's like we're coloring in the shadow area, but we're not fully coloring it in. We're making it look a little artistic. All right, and the next step is going to be, we're going to add a little bit of shadow. Just make some curvy little lines kind of coming off the mountain, and then same thing. Now these can be whatever shape that you want. They're just giving a little bit of interest to the mountain. After we get those curvy lines in, we're going to start adding some just little lines to kind of show this mountain has rocks. It's made of a really rocky ground. So we don't want the ground to be too smooth. That looks more rocky. Okay? So that's pretty much it with your Sharpie. You will have the option to do these trees in watercolor or Sharpie. So I'll leave that up to you, and I will show you how to do that in just a little bit. Next, we're going to work on this night sky. Now, I'm going to use these 3 colors, but you can use whatever colors you'd like. If you'd like to do maybe a gray and a blue and a green, or even a red and a yellow, it's up to you. Okay? So I'm going to grab a brush with some water on it, and I'm just going to start painting the night sky with just water. Okay? Now, do any of you know why I'm painting with just water and no color? I'm sure that some of you do, especially if you've watched some of my other videos, but this is how I like to blend. So I'm painting the water on the whole night sky, the whole galaxy, right up to the line of the mountains. Get that nice and damp. And then all the way over. Okay. And then comes the really fun part. I'm going to start with some blue. Blending is always really fun to me. So I'm going to get a dark blue, some water on my watercolor set. I'm going to start dropping in some blue, letting it bleed into the water that we've just put. I kind of got outside my outline a little bit, but that's okay. I'll just kind of work my line back. So don't worry if you mess up. We can always fix it. And we can always try again. Okay? So that's what I'm starting, is this outer line of blue. Nice circle here. Getting some good blending. You can kind of start to drop it in different spots. Watch it kind of blend outward. All right, so we want to keep everything really wet on the page in the sky. Now I'm going to add a dark purple. I'm going to start blending that with my blue. So I'm going to overlap the blue a bit and bring it down further. Nice blending there. Now we're going to add, I'm going to add some of a fuchsia pink color, but you use your choice. And this time I'm going to go right along the outline of the Sharpie of the mountain. Try to get this color to fill in what's left. And I'm going to paint it upward towards the other color. Just kind of blend it all together. That's what's fun about this painting, is you really just kind of mix it. So I'm going back and darkening the pink around the mountains so it shows their edge really nicely. And believe it or not, we're already almost done with this painting. Isn't that crazy? Sometimes these paintings that look so complicated are really simple. Okay, so now here's the option. So I'm just gonna show you a couple different ways to do this. The last thing that we need to do for our painting is add the trees. So we could just start using our Sharpie and adding some trees. Okay, so it's gonna be like the tops of the trees are all here, okay? So that's one idea. You could just start drawing it with your Sharpie. The other idea would be to go ahead and grab some black watercolor. I'm gonna move this, and we're gonna just decide where we want our trees. So I'll show you the other method. So we're gonna make some triangles here. Okay. So pine trees are skinnier at the top, and they get thicker as you get toward the bottom. So everything in this perspective that we're gonna see is gonna be atop of a tree. So we can do some taller ones. And all these trees are in shadow, that's why they are black. So it's sort of like the moon is just glistening on the mountain. Okay. So just gonna keep overlapping some trees and having some fun here until it looks like something that I like. So with your painting, you kind of just paint until you think, okay, I'm done. I think it looks good. And to make these look more like trees, we can come in with the tip of the brush and start adding some smaller pieces, just poking out here and there. See how it makes it look a little bit more real? Triangles are good, but we can start to add a little detail too. And the detail just sort of gives more to the story. Okay. So in through here we don't need much detail. We just need this part to be sort of black. Dropped a little bit of black on my paper, but that's okay. Show you what to do with that in a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just sort of filling this in, and I think I'll go over to about here. So I just start on the left and then go to the right, go to the left and to the right. And then on the bottom, it just all sort of blends in together. All right, so there we go. So again, you could have done that with Sharpie, but I'm showing you both ways to do it. And since it's your picture, you can do it whichever way you want. And there we go. Here's our galaxy night sky with some mountains. I'm just trying to add a little bit more detail. And all right, I think I like that. Okay. So now you notice that I did get outside of my circle and made a little mess. So I'm going to wet this with some water and a clean brush, and most of it will come off. And it just kind of takes the pigment away. And then you'll just get a paper towel and dab that up. Paper towel or a cloth, and just sort of dab that up, and then And then it's not as messy outside the circle. All right. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little video, and I hope to be back with some more this summer.